Okay, students, we're so excited to be offering an international social work course focused on human rights. I'm here with Dr. Brumfield, and I just want to ask her a little bit about her idea behind developing this course. Like, what led you to want to develop a course like this?
Okay, so before I started my position here at the University of Houston, I actually lived in the Global South in the Middle East, the United Arab Emirates, and I taught social work there for about 6 years. And I taught in a public school. The classes were segregated, so I taught women separately from men. And most of the human rights issues that we're covering in this class are issues that were either occurring in the UAE or in the region. And so we discuss these issues quite often in my classes there, and I became more familiar with these particular human rights issues during the course of my time in living in the Middle East and in the United Arab Emirates.
So some of your direct experience kind of influenced the topics that you're going to be covering this semester.
Yes, absolutely.
Good. Okay, is there anything that any concerns you have about the content of the course?
So the way this course is structured is we're going to be covering 4 lessons that are around different human rights issues. And these are human rights issues that impact women in particular. The first lesson, we're going to be discussing migrant domestic workers as victims of human trafficking. Lesson 2, we're going to discuss child marriage. Lesson 3, we're going to discuss acid attacks. And then lesson 4, we're going to discuss honor killings.
Okay.
And so all of these issues, and some more than others, can be difficult to digest. Some of them are difficult to digest because of the level of human rights abuses that can occur, but then also you may not have had exposure to some of these issues, and so I think it can be pretty shocking for students to realize that some of these human rights abuses are occurring in this world. Some of these human rights abuses are occurring in this country.
Right. I recently read something about child marriage occurring here in Texas. So
yes.
It isn't just in the Global South.
It's not just in the Global South. And I want to just state that it may seem like focusing on issues that are going on in the Global South or in the Middle East in particular. And I'm not trying to target this region of the world. So these human rights abuses are occurring all over the world. I'm just drawing from my own experiences and my own knowledge, which is why I'm focused on this part of the world for this particular class.
So how do you recommend students kind of navigate some of these difficult topics? Is there anything you recommend if there's, I don't know.
Yeah, so a couple of different things. I want to expose you to these topics, you, the students, to these topics, not just as a student, but then also as a social worker. So when you're looking at these issues, I want you to be thinking about it through a social worker lens, and I want you to be thinking about interventions that might be developed at different levels, from individual even to federal or international laws and so forth. We have developed a temperature reading, a discussion board for this class. So if you view some disturbing material or you need to talk more about something, please post on the discussion board. I will be monitoring the discussion board, but it is a place for you to discuss the material in this class. In addition to that, I would like to set up a WhatsApp group.
Okay.
So WhatsApp is it's a downloadable app that's a text messaging app, and it's for free, and it's across Android or iPhone. So we can create a group. If you want to do this, just send me I'll send you an email to give me your cell phone number, and I'll add you to the group, and you can download WhatsApp. And if you're struggling with material, you can post on the WhatsApp group in real time, and then we can engage in conversation. I have some trigger warnings. I hate to use that term because it's become so political, but I do mention in front of a few of the videos that we'll be screening that it is disturbing content. These are not videos that you will want to screen with your kids or at work. I want you to be in a place, a quiet place where you can digest the material, possibly shut off the video. The documentary on acid attacks is disturbing, and so is the documentary, two of the documentaries on about honor killings.
So if you've seen these videos before, is it less disturbing to watch it the second or third time?
No. So the documentary that we'll be screening on acid attacks, it's an award-winning documentary. It's amazingly done. I've seen it about 10 times, and I still cannot get through the video without crying.
Okay.
So this may bring some stuff up for people, but again, I want you to be thinking about this not only through a human rights lens, but also as a social worker, and be thinking about this material and these human rights abuses through the lens of a social worker.
Because in reality, you might be working with people who may have experienced something like this more on a personal level.
Absolutely. So you could possibly be working with clients here in Houston who have been victims, either themselves or their families, of some of these human rights abuses. These are human rights abuses that happen to people in every part of the world, not just in the global South, although that's, my focus is mostly in the Middle East and around that region. So yeah, these are issues that you possibly could be dealing with in the field. So just to recap, there's a discussion board that's more of a peer support kind of for students. There will be a WhatsApp group established, and these are both optional. Both optional, although I would strongly encourage you to be part of the WhatsApp group. It's I've used WhatsApp quite a bit in my classes, and it's a way to engage with the material and with other students in the class at any time. You can post photos, thoughts, reflections. You can ask questions about the class, due dates, anything. So it's been very popular among my students in the past.
Okay, good. And then, of course, we always have the student counseling services here on campus.
Yes.
Should this bring up any issues that you feel like maybe you want to discuss with a professional?
Yes, and you also can call me, or you can send me an email if you want to talk about things. As I said, some of the material is difficult, but it's also part of the reality of being a social worker in this world, is that we have to confront difficult issues and disturbing issues. And so, part of the point of this class is exposing you to these human rights abuses against women that are occurring in this world. Like, I don't want to pretend that they're not.
Right.
And so I just want to put these things on the table.
Right. Sounds good. All right. Is there anything else you want to tell the class, or is it just time to get started with the material?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this class. I put a lot of thought and time into the assignments. I hope that you get a lot out of this class, and that you learn not only about the human rights abuses, but how we can combat these human rights abuses as social workers, and then also about some of the human rights instruments that have already been at play in combating these human rights abuses.
Okay, great. All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you.